And truth be told, a lot of y'all fall in love with the body more than you fall in love with someone's personality. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that game, it's different. It's a little bit harder to navigate. It's a lot more superficial. That's why I like to make content about my approach, my game, how I attract men, how I date men. Like I always say, I very seldomly, very rarely am single. And that's because I'm not just attracted to one type, one person, one complexion, one race, one hair type, one body type. There is such of a diverse amount of gay men out there, and I don't limit myself to just one type of man or whatever is the current beauty standard or beauty trend. That is what a lot of y'all do. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but you follow that and then you don't call yourself superficial. And it's just, I'm going to dig more into that in my next book, but I just cannot connect those dots fully. So if you have any thoughts about that, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'm still trying to connect the dots between why you guys are so hell bent on having a type, but then you say you believe in love. Love comes in so many shapes, forms. It's us. We are a prime example. Do y'all not remember? They said that we couldn't fall in love. Two men, that's not love. What are you guys doing? You're not supposed to be getting married, having kids, whatever. We broke through that barrier because love surpasses and sees past all of that. So the fact that you say, I want love, I want Mr. Right, and then you're hell bent on how he's gonna look, that's just not a game I play. The game I play, and I just had a prime example, there was this one guy that I saw out. And as you guys remember, I'm solo polyamorous. So, me and my partner were allowed to talk to other people or whatever. Like, we don't force ourselves to, not talk to people or be monogamous or whatever. There's like more fluid and flexibility when it comes to that. If you want me to talk more about that, please let me know, because that is actually something that I truly believe is monogamy with two men. Now, that's a whole other ballgame. That's a whole other game. And I know a lot of you guys don't like the fact that I don't practice monogamy, and it's hard for you to receive the messages that I give you because I don't practice monogamy. So go find somebody that's monogamous, giving dating advice, gay dating advice, and you're gonna have a hard time doing that. But instead of you thinking, why are all these relationships open? Why are so many of them not monogamous? Let me dig deeper into that. Let me ask questions. You just say you're not practicing monogamy, and then you keep scrolling. And I'm not judging that. I'm just saying use your critical thinking skills. If majority of gay men or relationships start off as monogamous and then end up being open or polyamorous or whatever, think. Why do you think that is? You should ask some questions. But all this to say, this one guy completely different complexion, hair type, body type than my current partners. And I was just thinking, I never paid attention to any of that, because when I saw him out, there was something about his presence, his smile, his eye contact. I mean, he's an attractive man, but it was like him. I saw past the facade. I was like, there is something about you that I really like. I feel safe and comfortable and I'm relaxed. And I just ran into him and I was just like, huh. No wonder we had a good connection when I was out. Cause I'd be out and sometimes you'd be drinking and you kind of forget details and you're like, oh, I was just. But then I ran into him after leaving the gym completely sober. And I was just like, yeah, it's his presence. It's his personality. There's something about him, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks. It's just something, the way he gives space for me to respond, because I'm a talker, in case y'all can't tell. He gives me space for me to respond, and I don't know, it was just something about him, and I can only sum it up right now. Obviously, I'll probably do some more digging, as you guys know, writer, working on my next book, but it's his personality. It's who he is. And the reason why I like that game is because I think there's more longevity when it comes to falling in love with a man's personality, because this fades. This changes. I tell you guys all the time, I'm 30, I'm starting to get more sunken. The volume is leaving. The collagen is changing. I started growing out more facial hair. Sometimes I trim that, sometimes I don't. I start growing my hair out. I'm not having the clean, fresh waves that, is preferred for men of my complexion. I change, I morph or whatever. So if my partners were attached to my physical beauty and being like, I'm with him because he's sexy, he's fine shit, face card, body, and God forbid, I get into an accident, I become an amputee, my weight fluctuates, I get older, I start showing signs of aging, I decide I want to switch up my hairstyle, I decide I don't want to chase the beauty trends, I decide that I maxed out my credit cards and I can't buy a new outfit every week. Like, God forbid that changed about me, and then poof, there goes the love. And it just makes me wonder, was it really love or was it lust? And that is what a lot of you guys are failing to realize, which I have been breaking down a lot more in this book. So you will see me reading that aloud to you guys, because a lot of my unlearning, it was all of this, y'all. All of this. It wasn't just a pill or an experience or a YouTube video, or it was time. And I break down all of that in this book. Everything that I had to unlearn to realize that I'm more than my outward beauty. I don't want lust. I want love. How do I recognize when a guy is in lust with me or in love with me? How do I recognize when I'm in lust with a guy or in love with a guy? How do I know there's potential there? How do I know what spaces to go to? How do I know who to approach? All of that I had to learn through trial and error, which is why I put it in that fucking book, because I'm like, baby, I learned so much shit. I want to pass this off to make it easier for the boys that are in the same predicament as I was a couple years ago. Because I want us to flourish as gay men and increase the amount of love in our community. And again, this is not to shame boys that are full of lust. There is nothing wrong with that. But as I create more content, as you guys leave comments, as you guys leave DMs, I have constantly been attracting boys that are like, oh my God, me too. I'm tired of the lust. The lust was fun in my 20s. I fucked around, it was great. I got some good DICK, I gave some, but now I want love. What next? How do I attract that into my life? That is my intention. That is my purpose. I'm doing the best I can, one book at a time, one TikTok at a time. So I just want you to think about that. And I just loved having that moment, because I'm like, I learned to let go of lust. Not saying I never go back to lust, but I learned to channel my energy more to love. And I fall in love with who a person actually is, not what they look like.